And after nearly a 2-month trial with 34 witnesses and hours of salacious testimony, a jury of 8 men and 4 women finds Sean Diddy Combs not guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking, but guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
The gavel has dropped. Sean Diddy Combs, once untouchable, is headed to prison. No more delays, no more spin. He beat the harshest charges, but he's still guilty. Guilty of transporting women for prostitution. Under the Mann Act, he faces up to 20 years. Sentencing is set for October 3rd. Bail? Denied. This trial exposed more than crimes. It revealed a dark empire built on fear. From drug-fueled parties to surveillance tapes to emotional witness confessions. The mask is off, and this is only the beginning. New lawsuits, new victims, more truth. Diddy's legacy shattered.
Diddy Combs' case, we may learn this week if he will be released on bond while he awaits sentencing. His lawyers filed a request asking the judge to release Combs on $50 million bond. Combs was convicted earlier this month on charges of transportation to engage in prostitution, and he was acquitted of more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. The government is expected to respond by this Thursday. Combs' sentencing is scheduled for October.
Diddy isn't just facing prison, he could lose everything. The government might seize his assets, and civil lawsuits, they're piling up fast. Now, a former exotic dancer that's come forward saying Diddy drugged and assaulted him. He says he lost teeth and even needed stomach surgery. Former sex crimes prosecutor Matt Murphy called the RICO charge a weak link. This isn't the mafia, he said. Bad Boy Records is a real business. Murphy believes the Mann Act was more fitting, even if it's controversial and outdated. He also questioned the prosecution's approach. Too many shaky witnesses, not enough strong ones. They might regret that strategy forever, he warned. For Diddy, the storm isn't over. His freedom, finances, and legacy now hang in the balance. How did he fall so far? To understand that, we have to go back. Diddy, once Puff Daddy, wasn't just a rapper. He was hip-hop royalty. At his peak, he was worth over $1 billion. Now, he's watching it all crumble.
Sean Diddy Combs back in front of a judge today, this time virtually, for a post-trial hearing.
It comes less than a week after Combs was convicted of 2 of the 5 criminal charges in his sex trafficking and racketeering case. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas covered this trial closely and joins us now. So, Chloe, what happened in court today and what was this hearing about?
It was sort of much ado about nothing. The whole reason why they wanted to meet was because both sides were hoping to expedite the sentencing hearing, which was originally scheduled by the judge on the day of the verdict for October 3rd. Remember, Combs' team, they were adamant that they wanted him out of prison on bail, the judge denying the request that afternoon, and they said, well, we need to meet sooner to discuss sentencing. So they decided to meet today.
For years, whispers followed Diddy. Rumors of violence, control, even ties to deadly secrets. From Kid Cudi's car explosion to those old, haunting whispers about Tupac's death. But none of it stuck until 2023. That's when Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, filed a shocking lawsuit. A moment that shattered his public image. Cassie broke her silence. She said, "I'm finally ready to speak for myself and for other women." Her claims? Chilling. She says Diddy drugged her, beat her, forced her into sex acts with male escorts while he filmed and watched. She says he controlled everything: her home, her clothes, her career, even her medical records. If she disobeyed, he threatened to ruin her. The lawsuit rocked the industry, and though it was settled quickly out of court, it felt like a warning, a desperate move to hide the truth. It marked the start of Diddy's fall, from idol to indictment.
And right before the hearing, both sides put out letters saying that they had conferred, meaning that they spoke and they agreed on September 22nd. And then shortly, a few minutes later, in this 5-minute hearing, they went back to October 3rd. So we are back where we started.
Okay.
We don't exactly know why things jumped around, but Combs will be sentenced on October 3rd, so mark your calendars.
All right, we know you'll be there.
I definitely will.
Chloe Malas, thank you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Cassie's lawsuit opened the floodgates. After the settlement, a wave of new lawsuits crashed down on Diddy. One after another. Accusations of abuse, sexual assault, even trafficking. At one point, insiders said he faced hundreds of civil suits. The claims? Disturbing, widespread, systemic. For a time, Diddy stayed untouched by the law. But then came the raids. Federal agents stormed his homes. It was a rare joint operation. Homeland Security moved in across New York, Miami, and LA. They were quiet about the details. But the message was loud. Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, were reportedly cuffed during the raids. This wasn't theater, it was serious. Then came the footage. CNN released hotel video of Diddy shoving and kicking Cassie. No more rumors, no more guessing. It was real, it was brutal, it went viral. And finally, Diddy spoke. He released a public apology, but for many, it was far too late.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. I had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Diddy spoke. My behavior in that video is inexcusable. I'm disgusted. I'm sorry. I take full responsibility. He said he wasn't asking for forgiveness, just promising to change. But it wasn't enough. In September 2024, the walls came crashing down. Federal agents arrested and indicted Sean Combs. The charges? Staggering. Prosecutors say Diddy led a criminal network, built not just on music, but on abuse, trafficking, bribery, and fear. He's accused of using his companies as tools and his employees as accomplices. They say he beat, kicked, dragged, and threatened women for years. This wasn't just violence. It was organized, protected, hidden behind fame. The indictment paints his empire, Combs Enterprises, as a front, not for art, but for crimes. Now, the courtroom is pulling it all into the light. Authorities say Diddy didn't act alone. His own employees helped him traffic people, distribute drugs, and cover up violent crimes. But the most shocking claim? The freak-offs. Wild, drug-fueled parties that lasted for days. Witnesses say men and women were drugged and forced into sex. Prosecutors say it wasn't just chaos, it was control. Diddy now faces 3 major charges: racketeering, sex trafficking, transporting people for prostitution. And it's getting worse. As the trial opened, witnesses stepped forward one after another. They painted a dark picture of violence masked by fame. No cameras, no live feed, only courtroom sketches. Diddy's lawyers asked for a mistrial, denied. Now, he's facing 5 federal charges. Some could mean life in prison. His lawyer, Brian Steele, the same man who defended Young Thug. Guns with scratched-off serials. Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Drugs, sex toys. Prosecutors say these were not props. They were weapons of cant. Prosecutors say the items found, guns, drugs, baby oil, weren't just props. They were tools of control, used to force people into sex at drug-fueled parties where abuse blurred with pleasure. At the heart of the case are 4 victims. Cassie Ventura is the most powerful voice. She dated Diddy for years, and in court, she described how love turned to fear. He controlled her, threatened her, forced her into freak-offs. She described beatings like the one caught on hotel video. "I grabbed what I could and ran," she said. "He threw me to the ground, kicked me, dragged me back." The defense tried to paint Cassie as willing, reading texts where she said, "I miss you, and I just want to be uncontrollable." But Cassie stood firm. Trying to feel close to someone doesn't mean you wanted to be hurt. Other witnesses backed her. A hotel guard said Diddy offered him hush money. A male escort described beatings. Singer Dawn Richard said she saw Diddy try to hit Cassie with a skrillning. More voices are stepping forward to reveal Diddy's dark side. Carrie Morgan, Cassie's close friend, described 2 brutal attacks, one in Jamaica, one in Hollywood Hills. She said she once saw Diddy dragging Cassie by her hair down a hallway. Later, Carrie says he hit her too. She took $30,000 to stay quiet, a decision she now regrets. Even Cassie's mother testified. She said Diddy threatened to leak private tapes and showed photos of Cassie's injuries. A male escort called the Punisher said Cassie flinched often. Proof, he said, that something deeper was broken. Attorney Andrew Van Arsdale revealed 37 new cases. One woman says she was only 15. Diddy's former assistant, Phil Pines, shared his own story. How Diddy pressured him into sex acts he didn't want. "I felt powerless," he said. Sarah Rivers from Making the Band said Diddy groped her off camera. She never worked again. They say they lived in fear. Now they're done being silent.